when I was little, I used to always get out of my crib. So my mom would lock the door with one of those hook locks. And then she said, like, at like 3 a.m, you just hear. So then she tied me on my wrist.
No, to the crib?
Just one wrist.
To the crib.
Yeah. And
This
then,
explains a lot.
Yeah. And then she said in the morning she woke up and I was completely stretched out.
Oh my
To the door.
gosh.
And then so eventually she's like, but to
That is
her.
a torturous image.
Well, hold on a sec. She woke up one morning at like 4 to the doorbell.
4 a.m.
It was the police.
It wasn't the police, it was me. I had been outside as a kid, as like a little toddler. I woke up, got out, walked outside, and we lived by a river.
Oh my goodness.
So when she woke up to her son, her toddler, ringing the doorbell, she's like, I cannot let him get out. And I would fight to not be bound to that crib.
Oh.
So to this day, I sleep outside naked.
My mom lost me in a department store when I was a toddler.
Oh, yeah.
And got the security involved and everything. She was frantically looking for me. Guess where I was discovered?
The ladies.
By the river.
I don't have a memory of this, but I'm sure I thought I had crawled up into a private space to do my business in my diaper,
Okay.
but I was in the display window to the outside world
Hello world.
with the
How you
mannequins.
been?
Yeah, I was doing my business.
If only YouTube existed back then. You'd be
Oh,
all
Lord.
over
I got
it.
one more. My dad and his buddies growing up used to have a racing sailboat that they would race in Chicago. We grew up in Chicago. From Chicago to Mackinac is a very famous race, the Mackinac, and it's an intense race. And so my family would drive to Mackinac Island while my dad raced with his guy friends. And then when the race ends, it's a party on the island. And so we would party on the boat. Everybody parties on their boat, and this is back when you're a kid, you go anywhere just as long as you're back by a certain hour.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew the island, so it was okay for us. And so my parents partying on the boat with their buddies lost me.
How old are you at this?
I was probably 7.
Uh-huh.
I think. They couldn't find me. And my mom started freaking out. They informed the police. The whole island
Is looking for
was
you.
looking for me. And I, all of a sudden, on the boat, walked towards them with my hair all messy, a little dazed, like, hey guys. And they flipped out, like, where have you been?
It's a ghost.
I had walked 30 feet beyond, like toward the front of the boat, in all the sailbags. And I
Right.
stuffed the bag, and I was sleeping in the sailbags.
Oh,
Because I didn't leave, I
my
was just sleeping right
word.
there.
It's fine. Everything's fine, Mom.
And then, and my godmom said, who would want to steal Mikey? Trying to help my mom. But actually, my mom's like,
Did you know he was the Life commercial, Mikey?
I liked it too.
No,
I did. No, I wasn't.
that wasn't nice.
I don't know if I've recommended to you yet. I know I've recommended to you, but I don't know if you've seen it. The movie called, Come to Me.
Mac and Me.
No, I'm having a total brain fart right now.
Batteries not included.
Space Invaders.
No.
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
That's a good one.
They made a movie.
Scooby-Doo.
It's something about a painful life or...
A Wonderful Life?
No, a painful life.
It's a
What?
painful life.
That's a ridiculous.
The Life of Pi?
What is it,
Look
Opposite
up,
Day?
oh, crap. This is not going well for me.
No,
great.
it's not. Well, Mike, how
I
are
have
you?
it in my favorite movie list, and it's such a good movie I can't remember the title. Hang on,
Okay.
it's coming.
What's it about?
It's
A
about...
Painful Life.
Oh, it's called A Real Pain. A Real Pain.
Okay.
Have you seen it? Did I tell you about it?
No.
Wait,
I
is
told
this
you about it.
With
With Macaulay.
Macaulay's brother,
Yeah.
Kieran?
Kieran.
I did. I watched it.
And tell me your thoughts. A Real Pain. A Real Pain. Bring up the trailer one.
I thought it was beautiful. The scene when he's playing the piano
Yeah.
is, I mean, that's the pinnacle scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about it but I was really, anytime you recommend something, I'm always like trying to all right, so Christopher's recommended this. But those two guys are so neurotic.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them have an energy.
Yeah.
It's Kieran McLaughlin and
The guy from
Heidenberg or
Facebook
Jesse-
who did the who's
Jesse Eisenberg.
You did mention this.
the Facebook guy?
Is that his name?
Mark
Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg. There's a movie about him. The guy who played Mark Zuckerberg.
What's his name?
Okay.
Is this
Jesse
guy.
Eisenberg.
Can you look up who wrote and directed A Real Pain? Because this is the guy we can't remember, and I couldn't even remember the
The guy
movie.
who played
Jesse
Mark Zuckerberg.
Eisenberg.
Eisenberg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I want to watch this trailer, and then I have a lot to say about this movie
Okay.
because I think it's a very good look at human suffering. Let's take a look.
The top one?
Yeah.
You stay moving, you stay light, you stay agile. The conductor's gonna come through taking tickets. We tell him we're going to the bathroom. He gets to the back of the train, he's gonna start heading towards the front looking for stragglers.
Sorry, we're the stragglers?
Yeah, by the time he gets to the front, the train's gonna be in the station and we're home free.
This is so stupid. Tickets are probably like $12.
The principle of the thing, we shouldn't have to pay for train tickets in Poland. This is our country.
No, it's not.
Rated
It was
R
our country.
version
They
of the
kicked us out
trailer.
'cause They thought we were cheap.
Eisenberg wrote and directed it.
Yeah. He's fantastic in the movie.
He is very good.
The flying I'm so sorry. You did? Yeah, because you slapped me in the face.
Okay, so there are
That's a good movie.
a lot of f-bombs in this movie, and I recommended it to a friend who was sensitive about that, and he told me he didn't like it because of all the f-bombs. Okay,
But it's real.
yes, it's real. It's a real movie about a real pain, and the movie starts with, I keep wanting to call him Macaulay Culkin. What's his name?
Kieran.
Kieran McCulkin. His character is sitting in an airport in New York City, waiting for his cousin, and the title of the movie comes up beside his head, "A Real Pain," and it's a premonition of where the movie's going to go, because Kieran McCulkin's character is a real pain in the arse.
It's a hard guy to deal with.
He's very, very difficult to deal with. He's always
Kind of gleaned that from the trailer.
saying inappropriate things, and yet he has a real sensitivity to the human reality. And his cousin, played by Jesse, what's his name?
Eisenberg.
Eisenberg. They grew up very close when they were young, grew apart when they hit their teen years because of the different ways they coped with pain. And Jesse's character plays this kind of uptight but put together father, husband, goes to a 9-to-5 job, kind of keeps it all together. But underneath, there's so much pain. Doesn't know how to deal with it.
One way, just really quick,
Yeah.
he's put together but detached.
Yes.
Whereas
Yeah, he's kind of
Kieran.
he's the reverse. He's in touch with people's pain and totally not
But he's a mess.
put together.
put together. And so that's why they grew apart as teenagers. And what brings them back together is their grandmother has died. Their Polish grandmother. They're both Jewish.
Oh, so they're going to Poland.
And the Jewish grandmother has left them some money in her will for the two of them to go on a trip to Poland to see where she grew up and to tour the death camps.
Oh, wow.
Because this was their grandmother had escaped Poland
Jeez.
and survived the death camps. And so they're looking, the title of the movie has this double, even a triple meaning, A Real Pain. It shows up right next to his face sitting in the New York airport because he's the real pain in the arse. But then throughout the movie, you get to see why he's such a pain in the arse, because of the pain he's dealing with. He doesn't know how to deal with his pain, and it comes out in these awkward ways, but insightful ways. And he understands other people's pain. And he's the only one on the bus who, after they've gone through one of these death camps, everyone else is just sitting there kind of
Yeah.
a little blurry-eyed and stunned, and he's bent over just sobbing.
Yeah.
And
Also, the graveyard scene was huge.
Yes, the graveyard scene is very important, where they have this tour guide who's taking them through Poland, and he's kind of matter of fact and talking about the history and the statistics and
Good
this
tour
and that.
guide.
Good tour
He's
guide.
talking about
Doing his
everything
job.
going on.
But Kieran's character says at one point, like, you know, we're taking a tour of Poland and we haven't met any real Polish people. And can you just, you know, maybe not so much of the facts, but can you get us more into what we're doing here? And he calls them not in a smooth or polite way, but in a very in-your-face, kind of very awkward. And everybody on the tour is like, oh, this is a very, very awkward moment. But then later in the movie, this little spoiler alert, the tour guide says how meaningful that was to him, because he's always asking his tours for constructive criticism, but nobody really says anything helpful. And he couldn't sleep because he was so struck by what he had said. And
Wow.
But also at the cemetery, Kieran just wants him to be quiet.
he wants silence. He wants to rest in the
Oh yeah.
There were all these
Feel it.
old
Feel
graves
it.
from, you know,
Right.
like the first graveyard of the, I can't remember.
Yeah,
But
can
anyway,
you cut the statistics and the history? Let us just be here and be in it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of his whole mojo. He wants to feel.
Love that.
And then the movie wraps around. They do this tour of Poland. They go see their grandmother's house. They're facing their differences as cousins and the different ways they've dealt with pain. And there's some real confrontation between them. And they both let their guard down. And they get very emotionally naked with each other, which is very rare. But the way it's acted, the way it's written is very human and very well done. And then at the end of the movie, it wraps around and he's back in the same airport, and the movie ends with the same title next to his head, A Real Pain. But it's shifted meaning now,
Wow.
right? So the meaning is now we have seen his pain. And what I love about this movie is it's honest art. It's looking at the real sufferings of real human beings in tragic circumstances.
Yeah.
And it gives us, Mike heard me say this years ago in a talk, and he even wrote it into one of his songs, a lyric in one of his songs now, that behind the eyes of everyone you meet is a story that if you knew it would make you weep.
Make you read.
And that movie is that. That movie gives you a look behind
Yeah, that's awesome.
the eyes of these cousins and a look into real suffering. And we need others who are willing to look honest at suffering, to kind of prime our own pumps, to be willing to look at our own sufferings. And that can make us really uncomfortable when people are looking at their
It's
sufferings.
work. It's all work.
Yeah.
It's refreshing that, like, I don't know, what are they, probably in their late 30s, 40s maybe, as filmmakers, as a filmmaker,
Yeah.
Jerry
Yeah,
Eisenberg,
yeah.
writing and directing it, that generation's like, we got to go here.
Yeah.
We got to open up this hot mess and just try to understand it, feel it.
It's real work, but just that the work that it requires explains the character, why he is the way he is.
Yes.
And another movie's popping in my head that has a similar kind of ground, foundation.
Framework,
Foundation,
arc,
yeah.
whatever story.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yes,
Oh.
yes. And that
It's John Candy.
scene in the hotel room
Yeah.
where he says, this haunts me, this scene where he says, I like me.
Yeah.
My wife likes me.
Yeah.
And can you bring this up, Juan?
Gosh,
John Candy,
was
this scene.
so good.
It is so
The way his eyes
good. Yeah.
well up
Ah.
Yeah.
All right, we got to watch it.
Which scene?
John, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles hotel
Shatty
scene
Cathy,
where John
whatever,
Candy
yeah,
says,
yeah.
"My wife likes me."
That's it.
Second
That's it.
one.
The second one down.
Yeah,
This
this
one?
is.
Yeah.
That's the. God. This is my brother and I on tour. a motel kit.
You're in this crucible.
That's
Yeah,
what
you
pillows
can't-
for you, but I'm allergic to sponge. I got a bad allergy to it. I'd be sneezing all night with that thing. That's why I carry my own pillow. It's hyperallergenic.
Is this when he starts clearing his throat?
I had no idea those beer cans were going to blow like that.
You left him on a vibrating bed. What did you think was going to happen?
It's been a long day. It just didn't occur to me.
Didn't occur to you.
We might need to fast forward one.
Bush.
Yeah, keep going, keep going.
Sorry.
Why? Why? That's it. If I don't clear my sinuses, I'll snore all night. Gee, if your kid spills his milk, what do? Slap him in the head?
What is that supposed to mean?
You're not a very tolerant person.
Look, you've been under my skin since New York, starting with ripping off my cab.
God, you're a tight ass.
How'd you like a mouthful of teeth?
Oh, and hostile, too. Nice personality combination. Hostile and intolerant. That's borderline criminal.
Screw you. You spilled beer all over the bed. You smoke. You mess up the bathroom.
Well, who let you stay in the room? I even let you pay for it so you wouldn't feel like an intruder, which you most certainly are.
Oh, I'm an intruder.
Yes, you're an intruder. I was having a perfectly nice trip until you walked into my life.
I walked into your life. Who was that who talked my ear off on the plane? Who was that? I'm curious.
Well, who told you to book a room? I did, out of the goodness of my dumb old heart. Boy, you're an ungrateful jackass. Well, go ahead, sleep in the lobby. See if I care. I hope you wake up so stiff you can't even move.
You're no saint. You got a free cab, you got a free room, and someone who'll listen to your boring stories.
I mean, didn't you notice on the plane when you started talking, eventually I started reading the vomit bag? Didn't that give you some sort of clue, like, hey, maybe this guy's not enjoying it? You know, everything is not an anecdote. You have to discriminate. You choose things that are funny or mildly amusing or interesting. You're a miracle. Your stories have none of that. They're not even amusing accidentally. Honey, I'd like you to meet Del Griffith. He's got some amusing anecdotes for you. Oh, here's a gun so you can blow your brains out. You'll thank me for it. I could tolerate any insurance seminar. For days, I could sit there and listen to them go on and on with a big smile on my face. They'd say, how can you stand it? And I'd say, because I've been with Del Griffith. I can take anything. And you know what they'd say? They'd say, I know what you mean. The shower curtain ring guy. Whoa. It's like going on a date with a chatty Cathy doll. I expect you to have a little string on your chest, you know, that I pull out and have to snap back. Except I wouldn't pull it out and snap it back. You would. And by the way, you know, when you're telling these little stories, here's a good idea. Have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the listener.
You want to hurt me? Go right ahead if it makes you feel any better. I'm an easy target. Yeah, you're right. I talk too much. I also listen too much. I could be a cold-hearted cynic like you. But I don't like to hurt people's feelings. Well, you think what you want about me. I'm not changing. I like me. My wife likes me. My customers like me. Because I'm the real article. What you see is what you get.
I first saw this scene in 1987 when it came out. So almost 40 years ago. And it has just stayed with me.
So real.
The desire to be known in all of our flaws and accepted and
Not ripped apart.
Not ripped apart.
And he is so ripped apart. You think, okay, Steve, Martin, stop now. And he just keeps going.
Keeps going.
All right, stop. And as a viewer, you're like, oh man, just stop. It's too much.
Steve Martin's seeing himself
Right.
in what he can't stand about John
Right.
Candy, because he's on this journey also, just like in Real
Just
Pain.
like in A Real Pain, yep,
Yeah.
the two cousins.
They're clawing at it. They have issue because Kieran McLaughlin has a big issue with his cousin. He's got a real pain with his cousin that he disconnected from him.
Yeah.
That he disassociated. That his openness and like spontaneous emotion and expression is in some way is his fault. Whereas what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah.
They're both saying the same
Yeah,
thing.
same thing. And are we lovable when all of our humanity is on display, or is that when we get rejected? That becomes a theme, a question around which our entire life kind of circles and revolves. And I know in order to win people's love, got to put that in quotes, you start wearing all kinds of masks, pretending you're something that you're not because you're afraid if they really see me, I'm going to be rejected. And this whole idea of John Candy's character, I'm the real article. What you see is what you get. It's rare. It's rare to find somebody who doesn't wear masks. And when we meet such a person, it has a huge impression. You guys have heard me talk so many times about Monsignor Lorenzo Albacete and how it was 30 years ago this month that I first met him in graduate school.
For your semester.
Yep, my opening semester in graduate school in 1995. And this guy just didn't wear masks, and I was mesmerized by his freedom and mesmerized by his willingness to have his flaws on display. Overweight, chain smoker, had this big comb over, had ashes all over his clerics, ketchup or whatever, mustard from what he was eating for lunch, powdered sugar from the cream-filled donuts. His life was a mess, but he was at peace because he knew he was loved right there.
You met a real human.
I met a real human who wasn't hiding. And that's so rare. John Candy is playing that kind of character, who's what you see is what you get. And
But not totally, because even Candy's
That's
there's
right.
little nuances to his behavior that's in response to something he's actually hiding.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
What-
Well, that's part of what comes out in the end of the
Yeah,
movie.
Right,
Is
but
what he's been
same-
hiding the whole time.
Same with Kieran.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
coping
right.
mechanism that even when you think like there's still another layer of woundedness
Yeah.
that needs to. So there's a balance.
Juan, can you look up the scene from A Real Pain? Just type in restaurant scene. This is a pivotal scene in the movie where the pain in the butt cousin goes to the bathroom, and so there's a moment for the one cousin to address with everybody else who's on this tour, who's feeling all the
Tension.
and uncomfortableness of the way this guy behaves. Yeah, here we
Okay.
go.
And when he hits the table and
The spoon flies.
that had to be like by accident,
Yeah.
because that is so.
It's so
how
good.
do you do that?
Yeah,
It's
yeah
so
check
good.
this out.
I got to pee. I want to go to the bathroom. I'll get that. Don't worry. Pee time.
Sorry about him.
No.
What a troubled young man.
He wants to be good. You can see the spark. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Forgive me if I don't see this magical spark.
Mark, stop it. He's tormented for whatever reason. He's funny and he's charming under all the mishigas. I feel bad for him.
Has he always been like this?
Yeah, I mean, he's always been like up and down, you know, like he's sensitive and he like sees people so clearly, you know, but then you say the wrong thing and like something switches. Maybe it's not appropriate to talk about him.
No, it's not appropriate. You obviously got something going on between you and, well, he's clearly in pain.
Yeah, but isn't everyone in pain in some way? I mean, look at what happened to our families. Look at where we came from. I mean, who isn't rocked?
Well, you seem okay.
I'm not, though. I'm not. I just like take a pill for my OCD, you know, and I jog and I meditate and I go to work in the morning and I like come home at the end of the day and I like move forward, you know, because I know that my pain is unexceptional, so I don't feel the need to like, I don't know, burden everybody with it, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't want to
God, I'm sorry.
So on, David.
I'm sorry, I'm ranting. I am just like, I don't know. Sorry, I'm just like so exhausted by him sometimes, you know? Like I love him and I hate him and I want to kill him and I want to be him, you know? And I feel like so stupid around him, you know, because he is so cool and he just does not give a shit. And then just like being here with him is just so baffling to me, you know? It's just baffling because it's like, how did this guy come from the survivors of this place, you know? I mean, that your uncle had to sell like used furniture to rich or like couldn't get into medical school, and that you survived like the worst thing to happen on this planet in the last 30 years, and that our grandma survived by 1,000 miracles when the entire world was trying to kill her, you know? And
Go back
I
one.
look at him
There you go.
and I just like want to ask him. I just want to ask him, and I just can't. Like, how did the product of 1,000 miracles overdose on a bottle of sleeping pills?
What? Like, what did he say?
Yeah, he tried to. Yeah, sorry, I probably shouldn't have said anything.
It's okay. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry. That's very distressing.
When did this happen?
Like six months ago. My Aunt Leia, Benji's mom, found him on the couch. And I know he is so funny and so charming, and you are all going to walk away with this picture of this amazing man, which he totally is in so many ways. But when I picture him, it is passed out on a ratty basement couch while I am in New York City with my beautiful wife and adorable child, and it just kills me. Sorry, I'm oversharing. Oh, they're back again.
Okay, they're back again. Yeah. He's referring to the musicians who have taken a pause at the dinner musicians.
Yeah.
And the music's playing, and it's beautiful. And then they look, and it's actually him.
Benji playing the piano.
Beautifully.
Yeah.
What a mystery.
Yeah.
What an enigma of a person.
To love him is to love all of them.
All that, yeah. And to recognize the beauty in the midst of all of that pain and him being a real pain. And it reminds me of, there's this, you might know it, Bill, better than I, a famous saying of Plato, like, be patient with everyone.
It's Philo. Philo. Be patient with everyone. No,
we're all involved in a real battle.
Everyone you meet is fighting a terrible battle.
Yeah.
Everyone you meet is fighting a terrible battle, so be patient.
Yeah, this movie is that.
He's fighting a terrible battle.
He's giving, for those who go on the journey that this movie invites you into, it's an invitation to be patient with everyone, especially those who are the biggest pain in the arse, who get under your skin, because everyone is fighting a really hard battle.
This is okay. I have a thought on this, but part of it's interesting because even their F-bombs are flying all over the place. I know some people in my family who would just forget it. Then I'm not going to.
Can't watch it. Yeah.
But I don't. Nobody wants. I don't want to hear F-bombs constantly. But that's almost part of it.
Yeah.
Is that, like you said, in response to that, it's real. Like there are people who are in this.
Yeah.
And that is a way of just, I'm in pain.
Yes.
And I'm
That's
just
how
going to drop this because I'm in so much pain.
Character in real life would talk like that. That's been me at times. When I'm really there.
Yeah.
I'm never there except a few times, and that's how I am. So in order to, I was talking about this last night, the other night when we were doing the song night. I played a Bob Dylan song, and I said, what I love about Dylan is he doesn't just write the lyrics on the page and put it to a good melody. He sings the phrasing a certain way.
Yeah.
He uses it, even though people think he's got it. He changes his voice to match the narrative so that the materials come together to become the real thing. And sometimes that's how that guy would be in that situation of despair.
Well, my thought is that this is the work of a life. This is everybody's work.
Yeah.
Am I my brother's keeper? Yes. And part of that means that you stay in the orbit and work through it. And the greatest fear, I think, for this generation is like, I'd rather talk to a chatbot. Conversations are hard. I'm just going to talk to Siri or Gemini or Grok or whatever it is now, because these are the words coming out from different sociologists who are studying it. Like it's too much work. I'll just talk to a chatbot and get my answers and even my empathy. This book I mentioned, I'm reading Dr. Sherry Turkle's Reclaiming Conversation. This book, and it's scary because all these young people are just saying like, I don't know how to talk to people. It's just hard to look at them and talk to them. And stay with him. So I'm just going to grab my phone.
Tell the story of that text you got from one of our interns.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We had a wonderful intern for the summer, Claire. And it was just a week after she left us, she said, and I got it through her uncle sent me a message. I copied the text and said that Claire's having a hard re-entry. She said, nobody's looking at me anymore. Nobody's looking at my face. Nobody's looking me in the eyes.
And no one's looking me in the eyes.
Because she spent 3 months
She
here.
spent 3 months with our team.
immersed in our ethos of theology of the body, encounter, communion, conversation, listen.
Learning to see,
empathy,
learning to listen.
like feel.
Yeah.
And on our courses, it's very rare to see people staring at their phones.
Yeah.
Most of the time in the classroom, we're dialoguing. In the cafeteria, we're talking, we're crying, we're feeling everything. And yeah, I think the biggest temptation today is like, well, that's so hard. I'm just going to talk to this.
Yeah.
I've
Or
seen
control this environment.
a couple people, I can't remember where I saw it, but when a question pops up, in normal conversation, like we're calling Juan, right? Juan, and somebody reached for their phone and like, no. Let's just try to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like let's have
Let's sit in
the
it.
joy of that journey of going through opening up the different rooms in our mind to see if the answer's in there.
Yeah.
Because
Accessing memory.
yeah.
Which reminds me of that comedy clip you show of, remember when who is that comedian?
Pete Holmes.
Pete Holmes. Can you tell Juan what the clip is?
Pete Holmes, I have an iPhone. I have an iTelephone. Oh my gosh, it's so brilliant.
iTelephone?
Yeah, I have an iTelephone, which means I have Google in my pocket. Yeah, Pete Holmes. It's so insightful.
Yeah, let's watch this.
Yeah, it's right there.
So I have an iTelephone.
So what year is this?
Thank you. Which means
Can you
I have
move the
Google on
monitor
my
closer,
phone. I'm
Juan?
guessing a lot of you do. I have Google on my phone now, and it's ruining our lives. I don't know if you've noticed, it's ruining life because we know everything. But we're not a lick smarter for it. We just know. You don't know something? Wait 2 seconds. You will know. Having Google on your phone is like having a drunk know-it-all in your pocket. There's no time for mystery or wonder. You're just like, how do they make glass? And you know. But the time between not knowing and knowing is so brief that knowing feels exactly like not knowing. So life is meaningless. I've literally been in bed in the morning alone, just like, where's Tom Petty from? But I feel nothing, because there was no time to not know. Listen to me. There was a time, and I don't mean to get all Andy Rooney on ya, but there was a time that if you didn't know where Tom Petty was from, you just didn't know. And you felt that yearning and that deficit in your being. And you'd go around and ask actual people, like, where's Tom Petty from? I don't know. And now I'm impregnated with wonder. And then they go and ask people. Until one fateful day, you see a girl wearing a Heartbreakers t-shirt, you rush up to her and you're like, hey, where's Tom Petty from? And she tells you, Florida. And a wave of endorphins and pleasure and meaning would wash over you. And you felt something. And that's how you met your wife. Do you understand?
That's your
wife?
Thanks, Juan.
That's brilliant.
It's
It
so
is.
packed.
No more requests.
Clearly, this
No
is
more
when
requests.
iPhones were new and Google in your pocket was new. We've been living it with for so long
But that
now.
vacuum,
Yeah.
what that vacuum creates in you.
But
The
what
desire.
he says, what he says
It
is,
creates wonder.
yeah.
it's what I teach is this lacuna moment, the unfilled space that you got to be comfortable to sit in for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he says you're impregnated with wonder.
You're impregnated with wonder, yeah.
Oh, well, there's the empty womb open.
Yes.
But
again, we all struggle with it. And, I love that we're using the videos in here, but we're just like, one, and it's instant, which is great. We're teaching off of it. But, yeah, nobody sits in the lacuna. Nobody sits in the, It's so hard.
You say lacuna?
Lacuna is a Greek word meaning like an unfilled space or a gap or like a fallow field. It's just...
A curious bubble.
You could say that.
Yeah.
But we fill it instantly. Like guaranteed, anybody sits down or waits for an
Hakuna
Uber.
is nothing.
What's that?
Hakuna is nothing.
Hakuna.
Hakuna Matata.
Oh, it's close.
Means no worries.
No worries.
Yeah.
Where'd you learn that?
Let
me Google it.
Yeah.
Oh. But just think, you have to be so intentional and will to not go to it.
Right.
To sit. And not feel like this is awkward silence. Like literally, the geniuses throughout time, the poets, the science, it's through the lacuna quiet moment where the discovery comes and the connections are made. And
Well, I'm gonna make
it
a
all
connection
happens
right
in
here, because I was sitting in the lacuna there for a moment, and it dawned on me the way various saints describe the original sin. And I'm going to describe. They don't use this word, but since you gave me the word, I'm going to use it. I think we can say the original sin is the refusal to stay in the lacuna.
Whoa. Yes.
Because there's an ache I feel, a yearning I feel. The fruit is beautiful and desirable and looks good for food, and she's not wrong to think so.
Right.
Because everything God made is good and beautiful. And so I'm just quoting or drawing, it's not a direct quote, but Louis de Montfort says, among many other saints who said something similar, that it's not that God didn't want to give them the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. Of course he wants us to know good and evil. But it's exactly that he wanted to give it to us as a gift. And the don't eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil was don't grasp at that fruit on your own terms.
Right.
Wait for me to give it to you. It's an invitation to trust that the lacuna will be filled in due time, right? What does the psalmist say? He says, put your delight in the Lord, and in due time he will grant you the desire of your heart. Or in due time he grants the hungry good things. Or something. There's some line in Scripture which says, in due time your desire will be granted. Well, it's that due time that I don't like. Right. It's that lacuna that I don't like.
I'm thinking of my fatherhood and my children and growing kids up in a digital age of, instant and, come on, hurry up. Louis C.K., the comedian, right? It's going to space.
Right.
Give it a second to go to it's coming back from space. But I see this with my kids where I'm like, give it a minute. Or maybe 5.
Or maybe a lifetime.
Yes.
Seriously.
I'm still learning.
Of
go slow.
Take heart. Take courage. Wait on the Lord. Yeah. Wait on the Lord. And since we're talking Tom Petty, one of my favorite Tom Petty songs comes to mind. This is where we don't want to be in the waiting, right?
It's the hardest part.
Yeah, you take it on faith, you take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part. That's where we are so prone to the voice of the deceiver. Nobody's coming for you. That lacuna is going to be empty unless you do something about it. You got to do something about it.
Quick fix.
Yep, and I take it for myself. I take reality unto myself, which brings me back to something Monsignor Albacete said. I'll never forget. He says, at the root of every temptation comes down to this. It's the temptation to believe that the satisfaction of the deepest desires of my heart is totally up to me.
Oof.
I got to fill that empty space.
Oh, yeah.
I got to take it on my terms. And that's the end of relationship. It's the beginning of supposed self-sufficiency, which is nothing but pride, and the rebellion, which goes so deep in our humanity, the rebellion against our status as a creature, our rejection of the reality that I am dependent on something bigger than I am for my existence, for my well-being, for my satisfaction. I don't like that, so I reject the way the world is designed, and I claim lordship for myself.
The whole of human history, like, it's all right there. This is it. Like, this is the sweet spot of the entirety of the cosmos and all of human existence.
And a movie like this,
I'm gonna grab it or just feel it and just be stretched.
There's a
filled, but eventually.
There's a flip side that I can't get out of my head, and it initially came into my head from being a performer, a songwriter, and that's the other side of wanting to give. There, you have to give the freedom for them to dwell in the mystery. Like, and I see this in ministry, but specifically I'll enter in with music. I remember when I was first starting out, I had a band, but oftentimes I played solo. When I played solo, I would feel like what's in my head, I realize what's in my head is not what people are hearing. I have to make it happen. I have to make the idea in my head come to life in front of me. And so oftentimes when you have an audience, it's just, if you're not doing anything, you have air. So you have to fill the air. You have to spread the seeds in the air and create something. And there's this tendency to want to do too much for fear that the empty space will become uninteresting to them. And so you want to force something into that space. But I had this big epiphany one night when I was driving that the air, the silence, is another instrument to be used to create the contrast. So that what's seed or what's sound is blowing into the wind has more value because of the negative space. It has more light on it. And I see that so many times in relationships. You know, we talked about this on another episode where it's like the person that experienced a movie and wants you to experience it, so they have you watch it and they're watching you. Are you getting it? Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Versus allowing them to go on their own down deep sea to find the coral. If you break off the coral to shove it in their face, you're going to kill it. It'll be gray.
We were talking about that in
a while ago.
episode.
So you have to allow that negative space, for that pregnant pause, that silence, that uncomfortableness, to be an instrument that invites the bubble of wonder within the person so that they can fall into it on their own. And the second image that popped in my head is, I always think of, it's for whatever reason, the Bernoulli effect, which is I am not a physics guy at all, but for whatever reason, the concept of lower pressure and how, like, airplane wings are made on a curve, so that the wind that comes over has to move faster over the wing, creating a lift. You have to allow that space for people to draw themselves into the experience. So, like, when I'm playing a song, I have to allow lift so that people are drawn into it, versus just pounding them with sound. And like ministry is the same thing.
Well, I can give you a great example.
It's like people are like, can you play our event? Yeah. Can you also talk? It's like, well, I can do more with playing.
Yeah.
You don't be afraid to risk them not understanding the movie the same way you did, because that negative space of them just experiencing it gives the Holy Spirit freedom to meet them where they're actually sitting in their seat.
You're
This
putting
is
your,
so good.
putting your finger right on an experience I had just a month and a half ago, when I was teaching a course here at Black Rock Retreat Center. And I was showing for the very first time to my students a bunch of Albacete clips from a series that he gave.
I love them.
And yeah, you were there. And did you sit in on any of that?
I didn't see that. Yeah.
Oh,
And I was so nervous to share these clips because this man has meant so much to me. It's like the movie that meant so much to you that you want everybody else to get. Yeah, did you get that? Did you get that?
isn't that awesome? No? What do you know?
Let me go back.
Why not? Why?
I was in that place, and I realized it was actually somebody from our team, Jen Settle, pointed out to me that my fear had to do with not just trusting the gift and giving my students space either to love it or, guess what, to not love it, to not love the Albacete clips,
Or to love it later.
or to love it
On their
later,
own time.
right, on their
Yeah,
own
right.
time, or never come to it at all. And it meant so much to me, and I so desperately wanted it to mean so much to my students. I was kind of hovering over it in a controlling way, and that never works. Because in what Jen said, she pulled out this phrase from JP2. I just had never heard it from this direction. She said, "You have to trust in the freedom of the gift." I was like, when I hear freedom of the gift, well, the way I've typically heard it is that you're not you are master of yourself, and you can be a gift.
Yeah.
Your hormones are not in control of you. You're in control of them, so that you can be a gift. That's the freedom of the gift, which is true. That is one meaning of it. But Jen was given this other meaning to it. That was the freedom of the gift also means you are giving the gift freely, meaning you are taking the risk of the gift not being received.
You gotta let it go.
And you gotta put it out there, and you have to live. There's the lacuna again, that emptiness. And if you are forcing someone to receive the gift you're giving, guess what? It ain't
A gift.
It ain't a gift.
Well, I'm loving the fact that you're saying it's not. This is not it's we're saying negative space or empty or silent or whatever, but it's not. To your point, Mike, it's literally, wow. This is where all the action is. It's taking me to C.S. Lewis's the Ransom trilogy, where he's got this character who's sort of kidnapped and taken into space, and he plays off this whole idea of space, and he's like, we've been taught that this is space, and it's this vacuous, dark abyss of no oxygen, and it's dead.
Right.
It's inert. And he has this amazing experience that it's actually quite the opposite. And he says ancients were right when they called it simply the heavens.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it's the womb of worlds. Mm-hmm. And we're flying through, you could say, amniotic fluid.
Oh.
Of the world.
The womb of worlds.
It's direct C.S. Lewis. It's the womb of worlds. And actually, science is affirming this now. They're talking about neutrinos or dark matter. Like, it's not just space. It's an empty, but it's full. It's amniotic fluid, so to speak. And we're swimming in it.
Yeah.
But just to say, like, when you do a song, you create a song, when we teach, we offer something.
And aren't we inviting everyone into the womb of wonder?
Right now.
The womb of wonder, like what's the comedian? What's his name?
Pete Holmes.
Pete Holmes, the womb of wonder.
To be impregnated by it. Because then again, the gift is gifted and given, and if it's really a gift and it's free, it's not mine anymore. And that is such a hard place to get to, but that's where all the action is. And so there goes love, trust, surrender. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, the image that always helps the image that always helps me with this, what we're talking about, that I've carried with me for a long time is the artifact and the observer. Let's just say in a museum, you have the image and you have the person receiving the image, like looking at the image, standing there looking at it. And oftentimes we create an environment where we want it to be explained. Explain to me the image. Well, if you understand what was happening in the 1840s when the artist was, this is what was going on in culture, so he used these lines to express this and this color here and that template and this landscape. This was before they developed and blah, 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 blah. And you're completely mining everything out of it. Yeah, you're understanding like the history and all that stuff. But if you don't allow that to happen, if you allow it just to sit there and wonder at the image, instead of going and robbing and mining the image of everything, you're allowing the Holy Spirit to take how God uses the image and bring it to where the person is standing so that it means something to them in that place. Yeah. It's like, how many times have you heard a song, like when I was talking about this at lunch, where Come Talk to Me by Peter Gabriel. I said the brilliance of the song Come Talk to Me by Peter Gabriel is that when I was in high school first listening to it, and he says, come down, come talk to me. Can't imagine the moment. Can't imagine the moment. Breaking out through the silence. When we're both on the same damn side. And the things that we all, whatever. The lyrics I botched now, but when I was experiencing them, I understood them to be an encounter, a call, a crying out of the heart between man to God. Man was crying out, come down. Come talk to me. And when I was 16, it's at going to CCD, and they're telling me how to pray. I was like, well, I don't feel anyone talking to me when I do this. But I have that desire for him to come down, please talk to me. And I was really understanding, like, from that desire, that's my first step to opening myself up to actually hearing and receiving in that silence the voice of God through somewhere. So it's out there. And thank God that Peter Gabriel's going on a limb to say that, because he's resonating what I feel in my heart. I found out later it's actually a song he wrote to his daughter, because she was a teenager and they were having a rift in their relationship, and he just wanted to throw the walls, break down the walls and come back to the point where they could talk. But had I known that as a 16-year-old, I would have been like, I don't know, that's I can't relate to that.
Yeah, that's true.
How am I going to relate to that? I don't have a daughter. I'm 16. I'm the same age. So if we don't know everything, going back to Pete Holmes, and we're allowed to sit in the belly of wonder, the pregnant belly of wonder, it allows the Holy Spirit, because God is a big thing. It can do
That's
this.
a direct quote from Mike Mangione.
That's right. T-shirt, God's big thing. But it allows the Holy Spirit to take what we need to know from the material and apply it to where we're exactly standing in our life and draw us closer to where we need to be.
Amen.
That's my experience.
Can I throw a mystical quote from John of the Cross? I think Teresa of Calcutta probably said it too, that silence is the language of God.
Yeah.
It's another thing. It's not vacuous, empty space, but if you sit in it, I mean, have you ever heard God speaking through silence? We could all say, heck yeah, anytime I'm in quiet.
The sound
of silence. What, that just took me back to 6th grade. Mrs. McGee, Catholic school. She was a lay teacher. She had flaming orange hair, and she played The Sound of Silence. I was in 6th grade, I think, Catholic school, and that was the first time. I remember that. I don't remember anything else from the couple of years I had in Catholic school. But she broke in with that song because she got rocked by it.
Wow.
Oh,
that was my first Twisted Mystic kind of moment of a secular
I just saw him a couple months ago at 83 years old, Paul Simon. Wow. And he closed the show with that, just him on a stage.
83.
Yeah, at 83 years old. And I felt so like, how did I get this lucky to be here with this man right now?
Oh my gosh.
These 2,000 people. But anyway.
Can I affirm what you were saying earlier, Mike?
Yes. You got cold hands.
Warm heart.
That's right.
Stick them in your armpits.
I have had the honor of sitting before you and your performing countless times. Could never even count how many times, because we travel the world together. And you perform your music at our events. And I have witnessed and learned from your willingness to be in those moments of silence in your music, the way you play, the way you sing, the way you're taking the audience on a journey with the very melody you're singing and the manner in which you're playing your guitar. And there is a quietness and a silence that you take people to in your song that when I first kind of started to receive your gift in that way, it made me uncomfortable slightly, and then I realized, oh, it's supposed to. There's an invitation in that uncomfortable silence to go somewhere. And you'll do something just so gentle with a note on your guitar, a bending of the note or a slide on the note in a quiet moment that will then, like it pierces it. If your heart is open to what is happening, it is a moment where your own heart is getting open to go to a deeper place. And I shared this quote on another episode that from Benedict XVI, music uncovers the buried way to the heart. That's the experience I have when I'm willing to enter into where you are wanting to lead. And what is beautiful and what I've learned from you is you don't force it. You're not shoving it. You're letting it be, and it's an invitation to the audience. And I'll tell you a story from my own life where I did the exact opposite and paid a high price for it. It was 20 years ago in the classroom here at Black Rock Retreat Center. I showed this TV commercial that meant a lot to me and was very meaningful to me. And I wanted again so desperately from all of my students, a room full of 90 or 100 students, to see it just as I saw it and see it to be just as meaningful as I thought it was. And about a third of the room got it. About a third of the room couldn't have cared less and didn't see anything. And another third were scandalized by it. Like saw something contrary to what I saw.
I think I was there for that.
And I I so desperately, I didn't know how to just let that be. I didn't know how to say, it's okay however you receive this. You don't have to see it the way I see it. I hope you see what I see, but I'm just trusting the gift, and you can go on your own journey with it. I was not free enough to be there in that place. I was insecure because people thought I was crazy to see what I saw in it. So what did I do? I played it again. And I said, don't you see it? Don't you see it? And they still didn't see it. So guess what I did? Played it again. And I probably played it 4 times because I so desperately wanted, especially the third who were scandalized by it, I wanted them to see the beautiful thing that I saw. And this woman, rightly so, was so angry at me. And I could see it in the back of the room. She was just like bubbling over with something. And I said, it's okay. You're in a safe place here. You can say what you need to say. I did not realize this is what was going to come out. And she stood up in the back of the room and said, F you, Christopher. And I was like, oh, some cork just got popped here. I don't know what exactly that is. But she and I actually became friends after that somewhat. We had some longer conversations.
It always starts that way, right? That's the negative space.
We exchanged phone numbers because I wanted to understand what I had done that so wounded her. And what I had done was not respect her own freedom to receive it the way she received it. I was trying to force something on her. And she had had a lot of men in her life who had deeply wounded her in that kind of male-dominating disrespect for the feminine thing. And I triggered that, and that angry response came out. And I just want to say, if you're out there or anyone else who was in that classroom, I can still remember some of your faces. I was wrong. I was wrong in the way I tried to teach from that commercial. And I did not respect the freedom of the gift, the freedom of your own heart to receive it however you received it. And I'm sorry. That was rough. That was a very painful, but very, in the long run, fruitful lesson.
That, in a certain sense, you're touching on when I really started getting into my faith, going to a lot of like Catholic events, Christian events with the way that they would praise. certain kind of Christian music, certain hands and stuff like that. It just
It's not your vibe. It's
not my vibe.
Not mine either. Yeah.
And I
hear you.
can't. I can bear it for some time, but we talked about before. Like I'm more of a contemplative dude.
Yeah.
But like how many times, like this is parenthood too.
Yeah,
I mean that's what it is. With our kids, like we so desperately want them to get it 100% the first time.
Yeah.
Because it's in their best interest.
Yeah.
I have a good intention for you to understand this nugget.
Yeah.
So do you understand it? No, let me show you again.
Yeah.
Let me show you
And
again.
then you pan out and you're like, they're 11 and we're 50, whatever, still trying to oh, I think I'm starting to get it.
Right.
Now.
I have it now, like,
I got a great...
with my dad, all of a sudden I'll have my dad who passed, I'll be like, oh, I finally understand what he was saying.
One of my favorite scripture lines from scripture is Isaiah 30:15. By waiting and by calm, you shall be saved. In quiet and in trust, your strength lies. It's one of my absolute favorites. By waiting and by calm, you shall be saved. In quiet and in trust, your strength lies. And that's just everywhere.
There it is. Let me sit there in quiet and calm to receive that.
Just be quiet. And there's so much. I mean, back to creation, music, gifting, artistry, teaching. There's holy moments when I share something and I feel the Lord saying, "Be quiet now." And the room just ignites. You're like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
Because again, it's not empty space. Oh, I better say something. It's actually so full.
Yeah.
It's so jam packed that I better shut up, maybe for a little bit longer, and it just allows some beauty or truth to permeate and gestate just a little bit.
They say oxygen when you're chewing, to allow oxygen to come into the mouth because it helps the flavors open up. So sometimes you have to have that space to allow the ingredient or flavor of content to blossom.
As a Scotsman, they always drop a little water in your scotch to open up the flavor. That's it. A good Scotsman always does that. Just like space and just open, breathe it. Yeah, that's holy. That's the holy of holies.
That both the forcing of the gift, which is one manifestation of our fallenness, and also the grasping at the gift, which is another manifestation of our not wanting to be saved in waiting and calm.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait. The waiting's the hardest part. It's not coming for me. Nobody's coming for me. I got to take it. To bring it back to that movie, A Real Pain, it's no exaggeration to say that all human suffering is the rotten fruit of not being willing to be saved in waiting and calm.
Yeah.
And I take into my own hands the satisfaction I want, the salvation I want, and I'm going through a thing right now with my children in which the light that I'm seeing, the light that's coming on, is that I see that I so desperately wanted my children to be spared the things that I went through, that I thought I could bequeath to them the progress that I had made on my own pilgrimage.
Right, lessons you've learned.
Yeah.
But they're lessons you've learned.
They're lessons I've learned. Right?
Yeah.
There's lessons I've learned. And as a parent, we can and should and are responsible for inviting them to go on their own pilgrimage, and we can be a witness to what we've learned on our pilgrimage, but we can't bequeath the progress we've made. In Saved in Hope, Pope Benedict's encyclical Spe Salvi, Saved in Hope, he says, every generation must take the gospel up anew. Right? So all we can do, you cannot force the gift. You can't compel your children. I mean, in some ways, I understand not in some ways, I do understand why that student was so angry at me because I was not respecting her own pilgrimage. I was trying to force the gift.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when we do that to our kids, we're setting them up for rebellion against the very good things we want them to embrace. And I remember one of the moments where I was given entrance to embrace the Catholic vision of the world was when I was a young person just looking at all my angst towards my parents. And I discovered this little golden nugget in a church document that said, parents must respect the element of truth that may be present in some forms of their children's rebellion.
That's a great line, yeah.
And I felt so affirmed because my own parents had tried in their own way to bequeath the progress that they had made, and it made me just want to utterly reject it. Like I have to go on my own journey. Don't try to. I gotta go. I remember my dad saying, I was 18 years old, and I was in such a rebellious place. My dad, God bless him, God bless my dad. He went out into the woods for a weekend and fasted on bread and water for me, for just to pray for his rebellious teenage son. Wow. And he came to talk to me after this 3 days in the woods of fasting, and he said, it's like I'm on the top of a mountain and I'm looking down and I see you driving around and there's a truck coming and you're going to crash and you don't see it and I'm trying to warn you. And now, from the perspective of a dad, I can totally relate to what he's trying to do for me. But as a teenager, I said to him, let me crash. I got to learn it for myself. And there's a truth to that, right? I do have to learn it for myself. So there's a truth he's trying to convey that I was not open to, and there was a truth I was trying to convey that maybe he wasn't open to. And this is very interesting. I have in my prayer journal right now, I was with my dad, I don't know, 6 months ago, and he told me, somehow that topic came up of him fasting for me that weekend in 1988.
Jeez.
And he said, yeah, I wrote a poem when I was on that retreat. Have I ever shared that poem with you? He said. And I said, I don't think so. So he went and printed it out and gave it to me.
Still had it?
It's on his computer.
37 years old, jeez.
He had
From 1988?
Yeah. He had a computer.
And so he still has it, though? I mean, like,
yeah, he saves. My dad saves everything.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so he know right where to get it.
Wow.
And he printed it out for me. And it was this poem about the cross, about the agony of loving someone enough to let him go. And the cross that was for my father to see me suffer and make tragic mistakes. And I have that. I mean, why did I tuck that in my prayer journal all these years later? Because of a renewed appreciation for what my father suffered for me.
Talk about generational healing, and
yeah, there's something going on in that.
That came at the right time.
The specific value of you learning it on your own opens up a whole nother conversation into us and God the Father. And what we're doing here. Because it'd be a lot easier if it was just kind of like spelled out for us.
Yeah.
In a learn the dance step by step kind of thing.
Yeah. It ain't that. Each generation, as Benedict says, each generation has to take up the gospel anew. And that means it's going to be a bloody mess in each generation.
Because that's the gospel, a bloody mess.
And I think of this
passion,
movie,
a passion.
right? A Real Pain. And these are Jewish people who are going back to look at the suffering of the Holocaust. And I don't know where you go without a crucified God. I don't know what to do with my pain unless I can encounter God in it. And there's some line, maybe you know it, Bill, from some account of the Shoah, where, the despair of all the people, where is God in all of this? Where is God in all this? And and someone said, he's right here where everybody's suffering. Like, this is Jesus. This is what Jesus took on.
Yeah.
If
He's on the cross. He's right there.
He's right there. He's right there. If God has not descended into my hell, then, I mean, I'll tell you this expression that comes to me. If God has not descended into my hell, well, to hell with God.
Yeah.
And that has lots of meaning.
It sure does. Did you just make that up?
Yeah, I did. I mean, that's what welled up.
Really good. No,
if God has not descended into my hell, well, to hell with God.
Oh my gosh. But we can beautifully say he has gone into the abyss.
He has descended into our hell.
Everything, magnified.
Everything.
Life is not boring. Life is a grand adventure.
Life is
life
beauty
is work.
through and through. Life is hard. That song, Edward Sharpe.
Yeah.
It's just a song about it's hard.
Yeah.
And they says, "Come celebrate. Life is hard." It's the chorus.
You know what it is? Life is a real pain. It's a real pain. But
Yes.
that pain, if God meets us in it, is redemptive, and that's our only hope.
Redemptive.
Yeah. So is labor. So I've been told, is a real pain.
And guess what image Jesus uses to compare the pain of his cross to?
Oof.
Were you about to pull my finger again?
I was, but I've done it too many times. I can't pull your
Maybe
finger.
don't point at
Maybe
him
I should
anymore.
stop pointing at you.
Yeah.
I'm tempted.
Maybe I should do what the airline people do. They
Boys.
go like this because it's rude to do this. Have you ever noticed the exits are like
right.
this? They don't go
Yeah.
like this.
I've never understood that.
It's because this is rude.
To who?
I mean, sorry, this is rude to point. It's just a
to
cultural
point.
thing. They don't
I
want
know you. I know you. No, you're not angry.
You dig.
Oh. Well, speaking of airlines,
Wow.
speaking of airlines,
Cut.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Yeah, I love
Always
you
rich,
guys.
rich feast.
I love you guys.
Love you
I
too.
don't say it enough.
Can I say something real quick? Last line.
Yeah.
C.S. Lewis, J.R. Tolkien, and the boys, the Inklings would gather twice a week, hang out. And Tolkien once wrote to his son Christopher about the experience, and he said, "It's a feast of reason and a flow of soul." Whenever the Inklings got together, and this is just the vibe.
I like that.
It's a feast of reason and a flow of soul.
A flow of soul.
It's kind of a bit of
I like that.